I don't know about this improved War Factory. It might be good as a carry option, but I don't know. The War Factory range is always scary. But I think it will be countered by Scorpions, right? But you need Siege Mode and Acid for the Scorpions. This Arclight buff, I don't know. Arclight is kind of bad. Is this enough? I don't know. I think the Arclight is in a pretty weird spot. Like, if you buff it too much, the carry Arclight will become too strong and a big problem. I think they should rework the unit a little bit. Or rework Fang shields. Can't quite sure say if this is good enough. This seems very good. The Scorpion is stuck on the chaff all the time. Now it's a lot better. The damage don't even matter. I suspect it's the same DPS, but it's just basically 10% more DPS this. But this was so crazy to me. I feel like the Wraith is very strong unit right now. And then they fucking buff it more. Think the Wraith will be too strong now. Like, I think this is huge, this buff. That the floating artillery array doesn't reduce the speed. And this makes it better at clearing chaff. This seems pretty interesting, this Overlord buff. Is it only against crawlers that it's gonna matter? Or will it matter against everything? This is whatever. I think the charge ammo was... This is pretty strange. Like, this will increase the cost of charge ammo from 50 to 100, but the problem with this is that in the past, like how the game works is that, yeah, level 3 makes it cost 100. But in the past, or how the card levels also work is that in the early game you cannot get high level cards, and in the late game it prioritizes higher level cards. So now it's actually more likely for you to get the charge ammo late game, which is kind of fucking sad. I think this charge ammo adjustment is pretty bad. Like, it just increases the problem, I think. Or I think the cost isn't a problem later in the game because the item is so good. But what happened before is that this charge ammo sometimes was offered round 2 when it's completely useless. So you had a kind of a decision to make. Do you spend money on a useless item for now, or like it's an investment in the future, but you lose a lot of tempo now. But now, when the enemy has already committed into armor technologies or rocket punch or whatever, then it's more likely for you to see this. That's kind of sad, I think. But this elite specialist buff is kind of crazy. 1000 HP more. So maybe you can play like passive elite specialist now. Just like play a composition that the enemy needs to respond to, like a slow composition, something like Mustang Scorpion maybe. But I think some buffs to the elite spec was needed. I felt the 50 more supply on the first turn wasn't enough. But this seems like a huge buff. This might make the specialist very strong. Have to wait and see. But this charge ammo, I don't think it's a nerf to the card. It's like adds to the problem, I think. Because the problem of the charge ammo is that you cannot rely on your technologies. Like especially in aggressive play, it's like a chess. Some units counter some units and some technologies counter something. So you have your like whole plan laid out, and then there's charge ammo and fucks your plan, and you have been like developing your plan for 4 rounds straight, and then it's just poof, it's gone. Then you have to think about something else, and you have already set it up, so you are in a very losing position. And I also think that charge ammo existing, it favors weaker players. Like it favors players who just spam random units and not think about the game as much. It's like a get out of jail card. But the patch seems to be... I was gonna say it seems to be okay, but actually now that I think about it, it's pretty fucking terrible. I think the rage buffs are not needed at all. It's very strong. And then there's the charge ammo. I would say overall pretty bad patch, but let's see. Let's see.